Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished. Manchester United 4, West Ham 0. Bez, first game of the season. New season, same shit.
Yeah, same shit, different players. Well, partly. Just think we just weren't up to it from the start today. Just too many players went missing. Second balls everywhere. Oh, mate, I don't know what to say. It's just, I'll just keep drinking these, Geo, and hoping for the best, mate, really.
Yeah, well, 15 minutes in, I actually thought we were doing okay. I thought we were playing well. I thought the midfield were working as a team. We were pressing well. I thought the defence, Ogbon and Masuaku looked a bit nervous, but I was happy enough. Hire had to make a good save from Juan Mata quite early on, and then Ogbon had to clear it not far from the line as Mata had tried to play Lukaku in just 2 yards from goal. Then it was coming. 33 minutes. I think every West Ham fan knew this was coming. Every West Ham fan knew who was going to score it. Obiang got caught out just inside Man U's half. Zabaleta had made a run. That space got exposed. Lukaku got played in by Rashford. 1-0. A deserved lead for Man U, Bez?
Like you say, I suppose it was coming. We certainly weren't taking the game to them. So, yeah, again, just silly mistakes. I mean, Obiang's pass, which led to the goal, I mean, it's just silly mistakes in our own, in their half, and then we're up against it again. I mean, I don't think you can't expect Joe Hart to get down and get anywhere near what Lukaku, where he put the ball in the end. But, yeah, just a shame again, just off the pace, just way off the pace.
Yeah, I thought it was just a bit slow from Obiang. He got the ball, he looked up, and he just took a little bit too long before he got caught out. I think Zabaleta made his run too soon. I think at Old Trafford, you've got to be a bit cautious first and try and, especially when you're on the back foot for so long, you've just got to get your basics right. And he took a risk, and it didn't work out. Went in at half-time, though. I mean, right at the end there, we almost scored. Good play from us. We showed what we can do right at the death there. Nice little neat passes. No ball laid Fernandes off. Straight out to Hay, unfortunately. But at half-time, it was 1-0. We're far from out of it, Bez. Were you thinking, right, come on then, we need to make a change. We need to sort of just get our foot on the ball, start pressing Man U a bit more?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you say, going in at Old Trafford 1-0, you know, the game's never over. We're always still in it, especially with Chikorita. I mean, bless him. If I'm honest with you, mate, he desperately wanted to score. You could see that. He wanted a goal against United. If anyone was going to score, it was him. But I don't know. I just think the formation that they put out, did it really suit his style of play? I mean, he is a little fox in the box. He was running his heart out all over the show. And I just don't know if there's something lacking up there with him. Does he need a forward up with him? I mean, I know he would probably suit playing off of Carroll, but we just didn't look. We didn't look exciting enough. We never looked like taking the game to them. And then, you know, the second went in. You know, it just killed it for us. Absolutely killed it for us. And after that, our edge just dropped, and I don't think they really knew what they wanted to do with it, really. So.
Yeah, 50 minutes. Rashford went really close. Another warning sign for us. Then Lukaku did make it 2-0. A free header. I mean, it was a free kick given away by Zabaleta. A ball come in. Reed was just... It looked like Reed was one side. Masuaku was the other. So when you look at it, before a free kick's taken, you're thinking, fine, they've got Lukaku marked. Lukaku does a basic, simple movement. Out in, back in. Reed just stands still. Then all of a sudden, you've got little Masuaku up against the absolute tank of Lukaku. 1-on-1, free header. Easy, 2-0. Like you said, it was sort of game over then a little bit, but just going back to what you said about Hernandez needing someone up there, I thought the tactics weren't necessarily incorrect. I think you're going to have to play counter-attacking football at Old Trafford. I think just the players were wrong. I don't think IU can play as in a counter-attacking team. He's just not got the legs for it. I think that's where you need to just an Arnautovic on one wing and your fastest sort of winger on the other. We don't really have much options right now. I mean, hindsight and all that, maybe Byron would have been a better option on the right wing because he has got the pace, he has got the legs. Arnautovic then had a header off the bar. Sacco and Rice came on for Fernandes and no ball. Sacco, though, 2-0 up, you get a half chance. Sacco's half chance. Corner didn't quite make the connection with the header. Is that the sort of chance you have to take at Old Trafford?
Yeah, of course it is, mate. You know, any chance at Old Trafford, whether you're 6 yards out, 20 yards out, you strike it, you've got to work the goalkeeper. I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do with that header. Was he trying to lay it on for Ayew? Which I genuinely some people might find this a bit of a dodgy comment, but I genuinely don't see any real threat from Ayew when he plays. The thing with Ayew is he does score goals, and obviously does that warrant him a start in the next team sheet, or is it enough? Does he contribute enough? Because I can't honestly see, apart from picking up the odd goal here and there, I don't know. For me, he just doesn't offer enough, and that's just my own opinion. But
no, I agree with that. I thought today, in a counter-attacking team, I don't think Ayew can play that. I think when we're at Newcastle at home to Huddersfield, you can get him in there because you're going to have most of the ball, and it's not going to be about pace. It's going to be about technical ability and unlocking the defence. But I think when you're trying to break, I think that's when Ayew probably shouldn't be in. 65 minutes, Rashford hit the post. Then Blind went close with a volley 5 minutes later. Creswell come on for Masuaku. Then in the 87th minute, it was party time at Old Trafford as Martial made it 3-0. I mean, let's talk about this goal. This goal to me really pisses me off because the first two as well. But this one, Martial standing on the edge, 18-yarder, and Zabaleta and Reed are so far apart. It's just ridiculous. This is just, as good as Man you are, this is just basic mistakes. They literally just handed that to Martial on a plate.
Yeah, it's just at this level, certainly. I mean, look at the pre-season friendly against City. We just look off the pace. We're not in their faces. I mean, the only person who I thought when he come on got right in their faces, mixed it up, was that Declan Rice. I thought, don't get me wrong, he was thrown in at the deep end a little bit, but at least he was trying to get about all over the pitch and trying to make something happen. And I thought he'd done all right when he come on. I know it's hard to come on, but yeah, just at that level, Gio, you can't make them mistakes. You can't give people a couple of yards, especially certainly not players like Martial when he come on. I mean, I looked at Zabaleta at 40 minutes and thought, he ain't got long left. And then they take Rashford off and bring Martial on. And I'm thinking this could be anything really after that. But yeah, you just can't do it, mate. You have to take your chances. You can't give them any space. And they exploited it, and that's what happens.
89 minutes, Paul Pogba then decided to get in on the act with a nice quick passing move between Matic, Martial and Pogba. Joe Hart could have probably done a bit better, but the game was over, so I think he'd maybe given up as well. Well, it finished 4-0, but where's it gone wrong today, Bez? I mean, we were all expecting, let's be fair, it's Old Trafford. We're missing Antonio, Chiatti, Lanzini. Everyone was sort of expecting a tough game. Most people were predicting a defeat, saying, I'll snatch a point. If you give me a point now, I'll bite your hand off. However, what we've seen out there today, would you say that is what you expected, or are you quite disheartened by what you just witnessed?
I'm certainly quite disheartened. I mean, I want to go into games and win. And now, I think, obviously, I know Man United is quite a hard place to go. But Man U are top now. We're stuck rock bottom. I know it's one game, but still, from a West Ham fans' point of view, I think half the time, West Ham fans, we half expect not to lose. We don't go into any game to lose, but we're not afraid of losing. I think it's the character in which we do it. And today, I don't think they showed half as much character. I mean, Arnautovic had a shot late on and he didn't even hit the target, and there's 3 West Ham players in the box. I mean, all he's got to do is put that in the box somewhere, hit it at De Gea. He ain't going to catch it, and someone will sneak on the end of it. Just wrong decision making by players. Yeah, it was just sloppy, mate, when it all over the pitch, really.
I thought we saw it deep in the first half, but I thought, it's expected. We struggled to get the ball on. I thought our defence was really nervous. They were just constantly booting the ball down the pitch rather than trying to keep possession, and that did not help at all. But it's just the first goal, the way Zabaleta bombs, Obiang gets caught out, and that's just what you just cannot do that at Old Trafford. But let's talk about, is there any positives for you before we continue to slate everyone? Is there anyone that you thought you actually played well today? This player played well, that player played well?
Until Masuaku kind of messed the goal up, I thought he didn't look too bad, and then all of a sudden, the second half was atrocious. I mean, he was misplacing passes. I think they all misplaced passes. I think Obiang had one of his worst games for us. As much as I am a big admirer of Obiang, I don't think he was in the game today. I don't know, mate. I don't know what positives I can take from this, really, if I'm honest with you.
Well, I've got a few. I might be scraping the barrel. I wrote them down to try and remind myself. I thought Hart did okay today. I thought a couple of times he looked dodgy when he got a pass back. There's a couple of times he took an extra touch or whatever. But he made a couple of good saves. He had a lot to do behind that defence. His defence was all over the place as well. So there must be something going on communication-wise back there because they were in absolute shambles. I thought Zabaleta was good in spells. He made a couple of errors, and his lack of pace caught up with him a few times. But not everybody he's going to come up against this season is going to be as fast as Martial or Rashford. They are fast. But I thought Noble played well until he went off. I was surprised he went off. I assume he had an injury. I thought he played really well. I thought a lot of people would have been watching him. I thought he was one of our better players in the first half. And I thought Declan Rice played really well. And not only did he play really well, he came on. He's had more. We've now played a teenager this season, more minutes than we did for the whole of last season. And we wanted to see youth. We got to see. If he had a fully fit squad, we would see him. Probably not, but that's how we wanted to see the youth. When there's injuries, please can we see youth players? He came on today. I think Man U were just people are predicting who's going to win the league. Man U and Man City are by far the two most popular picks, rightly so. Today, our starting 11 cost less than Paul Pogba. It showed out there, though, didn't it, Bez? We were just outclassed.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much outclass. I mean, this is the thing with money. You know, these players are getting bought, and they are good players. You know, and unless you're going to step up to that mark. I mean, Declan Rice, when he come on, I thought he'd done it right. Like you said with Noble, when I see Noble on the team sheet, I thought, I don't know, but I didn't think he'd done too bad. My question is, though, how is Zabaleta? I mean, don't get me wrong, look, he's got all the experience in the world. He's an Argentinian international. You know, I like the bloke. I think he's, you know, he is a good ambassador, should we say, to the football game. But, you know, how many times this season, I'm worried how many times this season we're going to come up against a pacey winger who's just going to cause so much problem down there. Because the problem is with Zabaleta being on the right, no one kind of stepped in. And I felt like he kind of, at times, he was left on his own to his own devices. So you kill Zabaleta and you're on goal, aren't you? So, I mean, obviously the top four or the top five are going to have someone that's going to test him. But, you know, the little clubs, if you come up against, I don't know, teams like Southampton who put like Tadic or someone like that on him on the left wing, or, you know, other clubs that have got pacey left wingers, his pace is just, I don't know. I thought he would be a bit quicker than what he was, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm putting him up against Rashford and Martial. It's a bit harsh, really.
I thought he did okay. He made a glaring mistake for the first goal, but I think that's where, at City, where Obiang was, that would have been Silva maybe. Silva wouldn't have got caught out with that. No. Zabaleta's run would have been fine, but I think he's going to have to remember he's not playing with world-class players now. Mistakes are going to have to you're going to have to be slightly more cautious than you were at City. Now, one other person I didn't mention who, for me, was positive. I normally ask man of match at the end, but I think this guy is going to win both our man of matches. Hernandez, I thought he was, in the first half, he was drawing fouls. Every time the ball went up, he was getting in the way of defenders. He's quite a little guy, but he fairly backs into defenders and wins free kicks and gives your team a breather. I thought he looked good in the ball. I thought he was our best crosser. Unfortunately, he needs to be in the middle. What did you make of Hernandez's debut for us?
Yeah, I thought he was good. You know, I think we got a bargain at the price. Okay, he is on a big wage. We all know that. But, you know, if there's anyone that was going to score today, it was going to be Hernandez. But we have to play to his strengths, Geo. We have to keep putting them low balls, you know, things for him to run onto. Stuff, you know what he does when he gets the right balls. You know, put him. He is all right in the air, but he is quite small. So putting balls in the box in the air, I think that, you know, we'd do all right with him. If we didn't have Hernandez, however, it could be more. It could have been more today, but you don't know, do you? We'll see how the season goes. But I'm looking forward to Hernandez, mate. I'm not going to lie.
No, the two players that concern me the most is probably Masuaku and Obiang. I thought they were very poor out there today. Masuaku he's a strange one because when he had the ball, he looked good. He was going forward, getting ball. But as soon as Man U had the ball and they went near him, it's not nice to watch. He was all over the place a little bit. I thought Obiang had his poorest game for possibly in a West Ham shirt altogether. Yeah. However, if you're going to do those performances, it's good to get them over and done with at Old Trafford, I suppose. But Is this where Bez is this where we need to remember that it was at Old Trafford? We've got Southampton next, followed by Newcastle. It is important. As important it is to get points on the board, you just have to remind yourself who we played today a little bit.
Yeah, I know, but we like beating the teams like Man United. This is what gets us up for it. We're that club that loves turning over a big side. We do it quite oftenly. We piss on people's parade. Sorry about the French, but we do. We kind of like make good teams look a bit average at times. And again, it was the way we lost, I think. You know, I don't take it away from like Man United. You know, they're going for the title this year, 4-0. You know, they're challenging, but it's the way that we dealt with things. You know, the first 2 goals were just careless. And you know, I don't think I could blame Hart. I mean, imagine if Hart was at mistake for 3 or 4 of the goals today. Imagine the crap that he would have got. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Hart's this, Hart's that. But I don't think he had a bad game. I can't really point my finger at him and say, yeah, Joe, you was at fault today. But things have to change, mate. We have to go. We go again, as we say. And Saints are a week. Well, it's next Saturday. So, yeah, fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to change stuff, and hopefully there'll be a few more players back for next week, and we might even have a new signing by then. I mean, I think it started out with being outclassed, and it finished with being embarrassed, to be honest. I think I thought we worked hard for the first hour or something. I thought we were grafting. We just weren't good enough, and we were two errors for their goals, and they punished us, and rightly so. And they were the better team by far, but for the last 10 minutes, it was a painful watch. There was mistakes everywhere. There was only 2 or 3 players out there trying. Rice and Hernandez, the rest seemed to have dropped their heads and just given up a little bit. But Bez, anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just would like to see us get at teams a little bit more. You know, I mean, I know we've got some of our most paciest players injured still, Antonio, Lanzini. I know they're the type of players that mix it up and get at teams, but come on, we're going to Old Trafford. They've got so much pressure. They spent loads of money. Get at them. Get in their faces. Don't let them play. I would have taken Lukaku out in 5 minutes, mate. Just crunch him. Just get at him. Tell him that you're there. None of them really did that today. I want to see, like, obviously, I know sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but press a little bit. Let's just get in their faces. I mean, you're going to Old Trafford. What have you got to lose, really? You know, I think if we were to give that kind of spirit and that kind of effort, I don't think the fans would have been too disheartened. I mean, I know lads that have gone up there today, they've spent loads of money and stuff like that. And realistically, they didn't really give them a game at any point. All right, and Arnautovic's header come off the bar, but realistically, were we ever threatening to the point of scoring? I don't think so.
No, we had 2 chances, 2 headers. Sacco didn't quite get the right connection, and Arnautovic hit the bar. You're right, actually, about the tackle. And at one point we did in the first half. Obiang went in tough on a couple, and Noble went pigging on them straight after. And I thought, this is what we need. But we sort of just died off, really. And Bilic has to change stuff for next Saturday. The big test is when we go to Southampton, because not a lot of teams are going to come away from Old Trafford with anything this season, but Southampton's a team that we're expecting to finish above. And there's a bit of pressure now, because if we don't get anything at Southampton, there's 2 games, no points, and there's a massive pressure on our manager, massive pressure on our players, on our team. The transfer window's not shut yet. I think that's important. I think today reminded everybody, not the fans have always known that we need a couple more players in, but I think that maybe would remind the manager and the board that we're not finished yet. We need a couple more players, and so one to watch. But Bez, who was your man of the match, or was it Hernandez, plain and simple?
Yeah, I mean, it was Hernandez. I did think, like you say, him, and if anyone looked like they were going to score, it was Arnautovic. But I don't know, mate. If I had to give it to somebody, a West Ham player, I'd probably give it to Hernandez. I didn't think anybody else really deserved it, to the point. I don't think Hernandez deserves it. I don't think anyone does. But if I was to give it to someone, it would be Hernandez, because I just felt like he always kind of had a little yard on the defenders if he needed to. And, yeah, we just didn't play to his strength. So, yeah, not his fault. Yeah,
same. One last question. Our manager, was his hands tied today with injuries? Or, I mean, I think most people predicted the 11. Or is his tactics just...
I mean, you know, last season we kind of had a little way of playing free at the back. I mean, he had the option to play Fonte, Reed, and Ogbonna today, and maybe push Masuaku and Zebaleta maybe to like a wing position a bit more instead of playing four at the back, which is obviously what he played. So, again, does Slav even know his best side? I still ask this question about the guy. I mean, yeah, okay, he has got injuries, but injuries like Lanzini and Antonio, they're all attacking players, so they're not hard to cover. We have got players that can do that, like Arnautovic and stuff like that, so you can bring them in. But is he still playing the right side? I mean, okay, 4-4-2 away at Old Trafford, yeah, okay, it's a safe bet, but I don't know, Gio. I don't think he even knows what his best side is, if I'm honest with you. I mean, you know, we've seen. I know we go back to it. We've seen Martinez in the friendlies and stuff like that. He wasn't even on the bench today, Gio. So I'm like, I had a look at the bench and thought, if we come unstuck here, who actually have we got to bring on attacking wise? I mean, we had Sacco, and that was it. You know, if you have a look at the bench, I don't think there's anybody else that can really do anything.
No, 5 defenders on the bench, which tells a story. I think Bilic got a bit wrong today. I think we were far too deep. Like you said, there was no passion, no heart, no tackling. At half-time, I think he should have changed it. You're 1-0 down, you've got to change it. You've got to take it. Mourinho's well known for parking the bus, so when they're 1-0 up, if you get at them, there's a chance they'll retreat and try and just soak up the pressure. But we just let them keep coming at us, and that was poor. Like I said, started with getting outclassed, and we finished with getting embarrassed out there. But you guys at home, make sure you drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and let us know what you thought. Drop your comments below. Who was your man of match, if anyone? Is there any positives to take today? I think there's 1 or 2 players that played quite well, actually. But there's unfortunately 1 or 2 that let us down with some stupid errors. Put your comments below. Let us know what you think. Bez, thank you for joining me.
Oh,
and I've been Gio. We'll see you next time.